My name's Dan. This is my 1968 Chevelle Super Sport. It's originally a project car, and it's quickly turned into a restoration. So I found the car sitting in a back lot and began tearing it apart. Pulled the body off the frame.
Alright, rear end is out and control arms are off. Frame's looking feisty, baby. What did we just do?
Move the frame, baby!
Sarah and I just picked up the frame, moved it inside.
As you can tell, the car had some front end damage, so I had my suspicions that it frame might not be straight. So we dragged it to Springfield and took it to a frame shop. They specialized in getting this all dialed in. And one expensive trip later, I had a straight frame, and we decided might as well, since this thing's out, go take it and get it sandblasted. So it went from this rusty frame to this beautiful sandblasted masterpiece.
You're a smart man then. Wow. It looks brand new.
Well, once you get it painted and everything, it will.
Oh yeah.
Get it primed,
Very cool.
get it primed and painted.
Yeah, it's going straight back home into the garage. So do some more sanding.
So I loaded it back up, dragged it back home, and once I got it back in the garage, I realized that there was still some lingering damage. So after some fabrication and a professional welder, the frame was structurally sound, so I actually ended up sanding the frame down by hand because I knew I was either going to paint or have the frame powder coated. I wanted the finish to be perfect. So in the meantime, I went ahead and started cleaning up all the other suspension and driveline parts. I should probably also introduce myself. So the rear end cleaned up super well.
All right, diff's getting dropped off to get painted up. Are you excited? Yeah!
So I wasn't confident if we were going to go with paint or powder coat, so I elected to have the rear end painted.
To get some stuff sandblasted.
So I had a little bit of downtime, had to go back to work. And my truck needed some attention, some loosey-goosey tie rod ends, and there were some broken rubber boots. Needed some ball joint replacement, etc. And
All right, I don't know what the deal is with this truck and mice, but there's something very wrong with it. Oh, it's so bad. So bad. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is incredible.
let's get back to it. So I dropped these parts off to get sandblasted, and they were the first test on powder coat. And that confirmed how awesome they turned out, that the frame would be then dropped off for powder coat.
Where we at? Powder coat. Got your powder coat on? Let's go see what it looked like.
So here's where things went a little awry. So the finish looks awesome. However, the color selection I had gone with was gloss black, like a wet gloss. This finish, I had the suspicion that it wasn't the gloss finish I wanted, so I got the stuff home and realized that it was in fact a semi-gloss finish. So I reached out to Springfield Powder Coating, and they are a team of professionals, and they actually said, that's on us, that's definitely semi-gloss, and they actually drove, the owner himself, Mark, drove out to my house, picked the frame up, and drove it back to his shop.
And we obviously can't put the rear end back on without some shiny stainless hardware. Here's before. Looking fresh.
So just to rewind, here's the rusty frame. Then it got sandblasted, and here's the powder coat finish in gloss black. It looks awesome. The camera doesn't do any justice. It looks amazing.
What do you think?
I think it was shiny.
Go trade it for a new Mac. You excited as I am?
I'm tingling.
This is so cool. So. All right, so I went to install the shocks here the other day with Zach, and unfortunately, the shock bolts that came in the kit from the CPP shocks that I had purchased, they don't fit through the ear of the frame, ear of the rear end. So what I did is I went to O'Reilly, actually. I had to go to 2 different O'Reillys. And I picked up, this is the wrong size, but they're already installed. Picked up one of these. They're called shock bolt kits, universal from Dorman. These aren't tight yet, but basically, instead of having this big honking threaded rod that didn't fit through, it fits. I didn't have to do any drilling in the ear. I really didn't want to have to mess with this freshly painted rear end. So I'm really excited about that. The part number is 31001. I also picked up some hardware and a hardware kit in case I need any in the near future. And we're gonna see which bolts fit properly in this shock. And then we'll cut the strap and install these bolts. So let's get to it.
So as you may have just heard, I went with CPP rear shocks, just a generic, basically AC Delco remake. I've got Ibach coils. They're in 1-inch lowering coil. I was fighting the lack of weight with the body not being on, so it gets a little interesting here. It's kind of entertaining. UMI tubular lower trailing arms in the rear and upper control arms in the rear. Make sure you watch through to the end of this video. I think you'll get a kick out of what you see at the end. History has a tendency of repeating itself.
All right, it's all set, looking good. All right, so we got upper control arms installed. I just put 2 sets of the X18s in for alignment purposes, just to space it out a little bit so I wouldn't be scraping more parts of the frame than I need to for no reason. So we're gonna go ahead and get some of this extra stuff out of the way. We'll elevate the front of the frame and try and get some lower control arms in. Woo!
So I took this picture just by chance, and here's a picture from 1990 or so of my dad's 1970 Buick Grand Sport. He restored this car as well. Here's a picture of him underneath. I'm sure I'll be in that stage coming up shortly, so stay tuned. And here's what his car looks like today. He's still got it. Took him about 5 years to restore it. This is from last summer. So stay tuned. We'll be installing the sway bar on the rear. Got some new bump stops coming in. I've got brand new 4-wheel power disc brake line kit being installed in the next video. Got some front sway bar brackets that are going to go in with new bushings. I purchased a new body mounting kit and a couple other electrical components, and most importantly, a Chevelle signature 4-wheel disc brake conversion kit for stock height with an 8-inch dual booster. So that's pretty exciting. That implies we're doing 4-wheel disc brakes, and once I get that kit, I'll be able to slide the axles in and complete the front suspension as well, and then we'll have ourselves a roller. So if you enjoyed this or you want to see more videos, I think I might have forgot to mention this car is getting a built 6-liter LS, and I'm super excited. So thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed any of this, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. It'll help us out. I'm trying to get 2,000 subscribers. Thank you.